feeds the fire, if you will, of entrepreneurial activity? Well, there's a lot of things going on. First of all, our society has grown to recognize and give lots of accolades and celebrity status to those entrepreneurs that are extremely successful. And in fact, people that are entrepreneurs are generally looked upon positively because they take risks in the furtherance of or the pursuit of dreams and goals, and they create jobs and all that kind of stuff. So there's a real positive orientation in our society towards entrepreneurs. There's also a lot of entrepreneurial education going on that simply did not exist 20, 30 years ago. 30, 40 years ago, when I was an undergraduate and even going through graduate school, this course did not exist. There was literally no way for anybody that was in university that I'm aware of at that time to take a course on entrepreneurship. If they existed, they were extremely rare. I had to take classes on accounting and finance and management and marketing and all that kind of stuff to be able to get the baseline knowledge. Then I had to go out and work in the real world to be able to get some real world experience before I really started pulling the pieces together. Now with degree programs in entrepreneurship and courses in entrepreneurship, there certainly is a lot more foundational knowledge and training that is available than there used to be. There are a lot of demographic and economic factors. People are much more aware of, especially in the age of the internet, much more aware of the ability to take an idea, do something with it, and then put it out on the internet, put it out in some way, shape, or form. I mean, there are people that make celebrity status and make good money off of nothing more than their ability to write interesting articles about foreign destinations or in exotic foods, even ordinary foods. I've seen articles about oatmeal that are actually quite intriguing. So the point that I'm making is if you have an interesting ability, an ability to do something, there's never been a greater opportunity for you in that sense. The shift to a service economy, it used to be that there was this general perception that if you're not manufacturing something, that somehow you don't really have a real business, that somehow the United States was in decline because so much of the business energy of our country had gradually shifted away from manufacturing to services. Well, I think you'll agree, if you want, I've got an example for you, that information is actually the most valuable thing on the planet. I'll give you a super simple example. Just pretend for a minute like you're a rifleman on a Marine rifle squadron that's going to try to root out some terrorists in a building somewhere, and you don't know what's on the other side of that wall. Wouldn't you like to know whether or not there's somebody with a gun pointed at you and which way that gun is pointed before you bust through a door or go over that wall? Well, of course you would. That information, knowledge is the most valuable thing that there is. They take that same concept into the world of business. Wouldn't you like to know what your competitors are about to do, or wouldn't you like to know what they've done as soon as they've done it? Well, information gives you the ability to design a competitive response and or to create a competitive strategy that allows you to get the better of your competitors. So information is incredibly valuable. Now, that's not to say that manufacturing things isn't important, but you know, when you really look at the greatest value that exists, the greatest value exists in the intellectual property that is created by the human mind, which you guys are getting added value to it even as we speak. Then there's technology advancements. You know, this thing right here, I mentioned earlier that this simple device, whether it's made by Apple or Samsung or anybody else, has the ability to put your thoughts and your ideas in front of a couple of billion people. Now, you're probably not going to get in front of a couple of billion people, but the potential exists. And the only thing stopping you from promoting your thoughts and your ideas, your business, your products to a couple of billion people is the creativity with which you attack that task. So if you have a creative mindset and have the ability to find a unique and powerful message, you can get that message to an incredible number of people. Independent lifestyle, the fact that we have the ability to live with a laptop and a cell phone and a Wi-Fi connection. You can live almost anywhere and make a living today. Very independent lifestyles. And of course, all that comes about is the internet and cloud computing. This is a slide that goes through 2020. I think 2020 is a projected number, but the rest of them are actual numbers showing that e-commerce sales continue to increase. Now, I know that the majority of you and majority of people in general think that it's impossible to launch an e-commerce business because Amazon has everything sewed up. But that's just simply not the case. There are tons of businesses that are finding creative ways, leveraging Amazon and competing with Amazon to find market niches where there is significant opportunity for them to create great lifestyle businesses and even great businesses where investors can invest and get a good return. So online retail sales are continuing to increase and still represent a small fraction of the total economy in the United States, even though it's growing as a percentage pretty rapidly. Another thing is international. I don't know how many of y'all are aware of how many different vehicles there are for you to get engaged or involved in international activities, but there's tremendous opportunities. One of the most important and valuable companies on the internet is a company some of you have heard of. It's called Automatica, but another is, it's Word. They basically own WordPress, but there's another company called Woo Themes that started out making WordPress themes and then migrated into making an e-commerce platform or technology that integrates with WordPress. Why am I mentioning them? I'm mentioning them because they actually are a global company. Global in the sense that there are independent members of that company, Woo Themes, that are located, I think the headquarters is in South Africa, whatever the name of can't think of the name of it, but it's on the southern tip of South Africa, Cape Town. They're in Cape Town, but they have owners and members of their teams spread out around the globe. England, Germany, United States, China, Russia. They're spread out all over the place. These are people that help develop and design Woo Themes, and it's a company worth well over $1 billion because of what they've created just by connecting with each other and creating value. So there's tremendous international opportunities in all kinds of different ways.